Hey everyone, it's time for some more Monster Hunter, and today we'll be fighting the Gypsaros, or at least I'll be trying to find it in the Forests and Hills fight. I want to confirm my theory and see if it actually does show up with the Slay the 15 Velociprey. It might not be Gypsaros, but I know I remembered him showing up. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now, I was going to do the egg quest today for the desert, but unfortunately it is not showing up. There is the Wyvern eggs for the Forests and Hills, but I already did that one. As you can see, it is cleared. So the catch, the Yonkutku, I'll worry about that later. It seems like I just didn't damage it far enough. Initially, I thought it was a bug, that it seemed like it was captured, but it wasn't. But thanks to Monkey Bros, once again, in the comments, he did let me know that 2 tranquilizers will put a monster to sleep, even if they're not captured. So that is something that I'm going to have to be mindful of moving forward. I actually didn't know about that. Well, I figured out about it last time, but now that confirmed my suspicion for the most part. Now, the options were Slay the Genprey and Slay the Velociprey pack. I'm going to go for Slay the Velociprey pack, but before I do go out and do it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this merchant guy right over here. He sells something very important. It's the Psycho Serum. I'll actually show you all how this works. So pretty much the way it works is whenever you use it, briefly you will see the monster's location on the map as if you've already paintball it. Now, I believe it only lasts for about 30 seconds, but just in general, especially for any monster that doesn't fly. For flying monsters, it's less useful, like the Gypsaros, but for other monsters, such as the Gravios, or if you're looking for it, the Basarios, because I know the initial engagement can be hard to do because he just looks like every other rock whenever he's buried in the ground, but it can make it a bit harder to actually find them. Or excuse me, a bit easier to actually find them. So we're going to go ahead and clear out the item box here, the same as we usually do. And now, first I'm going to go ahead and use the rations, just to get those out the way. But then, once I do that, I will pop the Psycho Serum, and then it should show us exactly where what I believe to be the Gypsaros is on the map. So it looks like it is in Area 5. Now, either I remembered this wrong, or I did a different quest, but that is most likely either a Gypsaros, a Yonkutku, or a Rathalos. Now, I'm going to predict it's a Rathalos because it is Area 5, but that just might be the spawning point for monsters in the game in general. So I'm going to go ahead and run out there. Now, while I am running out there, partly to pad out the video because I don't have a lot of time today, and also just to, actually get the information out there, something I did want to go over is my appreciation for the community I'm starting to foster. Now, in the last episode, I did explain that I was sick and sleep deprived, and not to worry, I actually overslept today, so that made up for it, but something I do want to appreciate is how everyone's saying, hey, don't push yourself too hard, don't overwork yourself, and that's not to say, oh my god, it is a Rathalos, we are completely boned. But that is not to say I don't appreciate it, and that I, won't stop myself from pushing myself too hard. If I feel like I genuinely can't do a video that day, I will not. However, the reason why I am pushing myself so hard to do videos like this, it's twofold. The first one is I really do have fun, and whenever I'm sick, I just play video games anyway. So the only additional thing I'm doing is pretty much just editing the videos down. That's all I'm really doing extra. If I'm not playing video games on a sick day, I am extremely sick. On the flip side, if the main reason why I am just trying so hard to do these videos is because of the YouTube algorithm. Basically, I am very certain that... Sorry, I'm testing for the golf swing. I don't remember how to do it. But basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to push out these videos so frequently because that will get my content pushed more in the algorithm. And if it's pushed more in the algorithm, then I'll be able to get more exposure and views. And don't get me wrong, I'm not somebody who's like super vain and I'm like, oh hey, I want to be rich and famous and all that stuff. But it has been a dream of mine not to get rich off of YouTube or, streaming or whatever, but just to be able to live off of it, to do something I actually love, such as playing Monster Hunter, or in the case of the career I'm going for, pursuing this career and being able to make a living off of it. Now, it's looking more and more like that I'm going to be able to pursue my career and also do YouTube at the same time, at least for a while before I actually have to choose between one or the other, which I'll probably choose this if I do get popular enough, but those really are my two biggest dreams, and the only two things in life I want to do that fulfill me. Doing this, and I know a lot of people say, oh, don't be personal with your fans, don't spill your personal life on YouTube. And that's not to say I'm going to dox myself or go over all the specific details of my life, per se, but just to kind of explain why I'm pushing myself so hard to do YouTube is because almost nothing else in the entire world would make me happier than being able to pull up a game and just play with the community. Now, streaming is my end goal, so I can more directly interact with you guys on a, more moment-to-moment basis. But at the same time, just being able to, make a video and be able to live off of that. Not just a video where it's like lazy or something, but, just pushing out some content and actually having fun. Oh my god, that was a home run. But yeah, it's something I've always wanted to do. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just working hard right now so I don't have to work as hard later on. As soon as I start making, let's say $4,000 a month, so let's say about 1 million views to my channel per year. As soon as or even on Patreon, or with the memberships and donations and everything else, as soon as I make about $4,000 a month, I got to pay about 30% to the IRS. That's about, let's say $2,800 to $3,000 a month. I have friends I could move in with, or I could get a camper and live in my own place, and that's about how much I'm making right now. I would say right now where I'm at in terms of my current job, that is pretty much bare minimum. Like, I can comfortably live off of this. I can get what I want, I can get what I need, I can save for a laptop in a couple of months, and I'm actually getting a computer desk soon, and Rathalos is here. That is not good. So I am going to run away like a scared little baby, because that's what I am. But yeah, in terms of, doing YouTube and stuff, as soon as I make about $2,800 a month off of it after taxes, so in total, $3,000 to $4,000 a month, that's about $50,000 a year. As soon as I can make about $50,000 a year off of YouTube and Patreon and memberships and everything else combined, I will gladly take it easy and start relaxing, because that's where I'm at now. And right now where I'm at, I can take my dogs to the vet, I can pay for their shots and everything, I can feed them, I can feed myself, I got a vehicle that I can keep insured and registered and everything else. So yeah. And of course, like I said, I know that a lot of people, they say like, oh, don't share your personal life on YouTube, and I'm not going to go into any intimate details, I'm not going to go over relationships, I'm not going to talk about Chad from work or anything like that. But just as a whole, in terms of why I'm doing this and pushing myself so hard, that's why. It's because this is my dream. This is what I want to do. And after breaking 200 subscribers, I know just a couple of weeks ago, I was freaking out over getting 250 views on a video, 750 views on a video. Now I'm regularly breaking hundreds of views per video. Oh, that is a tanky Velociraptor. Holy smokes. But I'm regularly breaking 100 views per video. I have 3 videos that have over 1,000 views now. Let's see if he gives me something good. Yeah, Velociraptor Fang. But yeah, just as a whole, that's why I'm pushing myself so hard. It's because this is my dream, and this is everything I've wanted to do. And just seeing that... Well, Rathalos was overhead. I was waiting for him to land. I was wanting to see if I could test myself against him real quick. But just being able to, pull up YouTube and see, oh, you're getting 10, 15, 20 new subscribers a day. It does mean a lot. So, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to title this video, but I probably should put somewhere in there that it is a yapping video, but... Hey, that's one quest down. That's Slay the Velociprey pack. 15 down. So I guess Monkey Bros was right. Maybe it was another quest I was thinking of, or maybe the monster is randomized. But I know that I was in Area 2 bonking some Velociprey, and maybe it was a mushroom picking in the forests and hills? I don't remember. I know at some point Gypsaros does show up in the forests and hills. I will take that to the grave. But either way, bring me eggs. That's the desert. Oh, it is 3 eggs. Well, still, I do have a strategy for that, but for now, we're going to hold off because I don't have enough time. Let's see. Let's see if I can do one more quest. Oh, boy. Alright, so I do not have enough time to do this, so give me a moment, and through the magic of editing, I'm gonna snap and then be right back here. Alright, so thanks to the magic of editing, we are back. We can slay the Genprey. So that is what I'm gonna do next. 200 to go on, like you to find and kill 15 Genprey in the desert. Watch out, they can paralyze you. We are very well acquainted with that knowledge. So I just kind of went on that egg quest and then abandoned it because I don't want to do that. No, I'm okay. But hey, you know, as a whole, it shouldn't be too difficult. We are probably going to get paralyzed a fair amount, but the only thing we're really going to grab is some first aid meds and some paintballs, because we can keep the paintballs, and the first aid meds is, of course, for healing. We shouldn't need to worry about sharpening. Oh, we can also keep the cool drinks, so I'm going to grab those too. I guess, you know what, let's just go ahead and clear out the chest like we usually do. The mini whetstones, they're useless, so I'm just gonna use the rations. But always get the rations to freely fill up your stamina bar. Always get the meds because you need the healing. Always get the paintballs so you can keep the paintballs, and always get the cool drinks because you can keep the cool drinks. Now, as we all know, oh god, they're actually a lot tankier than the Velociprey. So I'm gonna see how many of these it takes. Alright, so I know the Velociprey is a lot easier. You can just kind of smack them around. These guys, you actually have to probably do a ground pound. Also, something I do want to go over is the main reason I do the ground pound so much is because I can safely hit the monsters. Look at that. Holy crap, that is amazing. That is a certified hell yeah moment. Oh, another one. Perfect. So, I know that you can do the golf swing. I'll be honest, I don't remember how. I think it is like pound, pound, and then another input to actually do it. Also, I didn't realize they were infinitely respawning. So this is why in that first slay the Genprey, not Genprey, Velociprey mission, this is probably why they didn't have them respawn, because now I can just stay here and farm him. I don't get to see any more of the map. I don't get to have any more substantial interactions with the environment. It's just me and the Velociprey and the Vespoids. And if the Vespoids get close enough, maybe I can squash several of them again. There really is few things as satisfying as just squashing like 3 Vespoid at once, but it looks like they did finally quit respawning. So I guess maybe they respawn to a certain amount in this quest. Normally they respawn infinitely, but I guess this time there's just a certain amount of them that respawn. Now, of course, there will most likely be a large monster here. Probably a Cephadrome or a Gendrome. Those are the two most likely options, but I didn't bother getting another Psycho Serum because they are 500 Zenny apiece, and that is about a quest worth of money. So I just kind of wanted to show how it worked. Whenever I do actually go to kill the Rathalos, I'll probably buy 3 or 4 Psycho Serums just to have them. Because most likely it is going to take multiple attempts, and there will be times where the paintball does run out, and of course there will be the initial issue of just finding the Rathalos to begin with. Now, I know in Area 5, even though it's really cold there, for some reason there's always a couple of Genprey there, and I never really understood that, because to my knowledge, these guys are reptiles, right? They need the sun to live. Well, then again, I'm saying that in a series where Tigrex is in the snowy mountains area. But as is, I always thought it was funny that these desert reptiles are in a cave so cold that it makes you shiver. Because that can not be good for their long-term health, I'll tell you that. Oh, I couldn't carve it. It took too long. Just barely too long. So yeah, it feels good to kill multiple enemies, but if you do, at least in this game, you have to try to think to yourself, alright, which one do I want to carve? Because the others are most likely going to disappear. Bonk. Alright, so it looks like we managed to wrap it up there. Now, this is really good for getting Velociprey parts. So, for the Sword and Shield, there are a couple of options for killing Rathalos, or at least trying to make the fight as manageable as possible. I'm going to try to get as many Velociprey and Iaprey parts as I can, just in general, because there's a paralyzing Sword and Shield called the Death Prize. It's like the highest level for the Paralysis Sword and Shield. Now, the damage is obviously weak, because it is a weapon that gives you status elements. with your attacks. But pretty much what the plan to do is paralyze Rathalos while getting in as many hits as possible, while at the same time trying to carry as many bombs as possible. And then when you paralyze him, you can set the bombs right beside his face and just absolutely murder him. So that is the plan for the death prize. The other option, because the Gypsaros is just super hard to fight and kill for the rubbery hides, is to try to go for the Iapray, the Iodrome version of the Sword and Shield. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but pretty much once you do that, you can try to poison the Rathalos, and that seems to be the popular way to do it. The other option is, of course, the straight brutish hammer strategy. I think I saw one person do it with a lance. But either way, I know that people are excited for me to start multiplayer, and some people are even saying, hey, do single player and multiplayer in tandem. Initially, what I was going to do is start doing the single players. For this one, it's because this is my gaming wall. I need to get past it. I need to do this for me. But after that, maybe I will start multiplayer a bit early, but I'm not sure yet. Even so, besides that, every series probably moving forward, I'm probably going to start with multiplayer first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join some friends in multiplayer in this game, and from the poll I put out on who wants to, how do y'all want me to structure the series, it looks like I'm going straight from Monster Hunter 1 to G and then to Freedom. So what I'm going to do most likely is do the single player for this game, or at least all the way up to just past the Rathalos. Then start multiplayer and come back and finish off the single player. I'll probably do separate playlists for the single player and multiplayer quests for each game. But then starting with Monster Hunter G, I'll start with the multiplayer, that way I can blitz through the single player. I have been spending the last month probably on the single player for this game, and that wasn't really intentional, and it is a bit longer than I was really meaning to. I want to try to spend no more than 2 to 3 months on each game. But that said, I'm going to call it for now. For anybody who stuck around just to hear me talk, thank you so much. Thank you everybody so much for the growth on the channel. Thank you all for 200 subscribers. That said, if you liked the video, leave a like. Comment any information you might have down below if you think it'll make my life in this game at least a lot easier. Or share your thoughts on the series as a whole. And if you're feeling generous, subscribe to my Patreon. That way I can actually make a living off of this. Bye now.